Yeah, we find her, the beautiful girl we've been missing. We wanna have her kissing. We find her, now we in love. Say go so, the remix.
DMB, Tuck Spice, remix.
Now if I had to lose you like a bad phone connection, I'd change my game to get a better reception. Sit back, let's start this interaction. Don't fight the feelings, just a chain reaction. Your heart won't give you the wrong instructions. Like my GPS, yes, I got the right direction. We gotta merge together like a road intersection. Last stop is gonna be my love and affection. I ain't like the mother dudes, they wanna call you shorty, but I'ma call you a beautiful girl. I took your picture home, my mama saw it, she's a very, very beautiful girl. I wanna put you in my video, cause you're so beautiful. You're a beautiful girl. So when you hear us on your radio, turn up your stereo. It's beautiful girl.
Gotta find a shorty, what's worth of a lady. It's nice but maybe doesn't look like 40. It's taking a little time. I wasn't seeing no signs, any traces of my baby. Who's gonna be my baby? But I thought I'm gonna take my time. Within took a little fun eye. I saw a shorty passing by. She's got this very pretty smile. It was right at the bus station. I tried to make a conversation, holding her arms, feeling so charmed. I felt the sensation. It's been a while that I've been trying to find a beautiful girl. Now I realize I found me a beautiful girl. She's a model, she's so fine. I just wanna take it by. Beautiful girl, sparkling eyes, a killing thigh. I found me a beautiful girl.
My wish came true when I saw you, girl. God must have blessed me with your beauty, girl. Looking so right from your head to your toe, shaped like a cocoa bottle with a smile of a queen. My queen to be, you my destiny. Got a body of a goddess with your beauty. I'm impressed and I'm never in distress. Come on over and be mine. Been searching for a man and now all the cats keep looking to mine. With a sexy walk and a sexy talk, she must be from a planet called the sexy world. I know I ain't tripping, better yet I'm thinking put a ring on the finger, we look good together. Take your place in my heart with your beauty. I'ma say that I'll never turn away. Who would think I'm in love?
Such the way she smiles at me just really makes me weak. The way she speaks to me just really make me go so weak. Keep staring in her eyebrows. All I kept on saying is wow. Your beauty shines and breeze at night. All I really want in my life. Oh yeah. It's been a while that I've been trying to find a beautiful girl. Fine brown eyes. I found me a beautiful girl. She's my model, she's so fine. I just wanna take it. Beautiful girl, sparkling eyes, killing thigh. I found me a beautiful girl. Yeah, beautiful girl, beautiful girl. Yeah. Beautiful girl.
Damn. Money, you seen her? Hot Ice, have you seen her? LP, have you seen her? I'ma go over to Tux Bites. I know you've probably seen her. He has a lot of beautiful girls with him. Tux, it's DMB, baby. Look,
Beautiful.
I look for a while, but I can't seem to find a beautiful
beautiful girl so I can make her mine. Time after time I've been searching for a while, but every girl I meet never seems worthwhile. What can I do? I pray to God for an answer. I feel pains in my heart like cancer, and when I find her, I'm gonna romance her. Lace several presents and gifts, call me Santa Claus. I make a heartbeat pause. That's my girl, homeboy, not yours. The girl of my dreams, she's more than I ever thought. Show me ass and picture, I think I'm getting punked. She's what I really want, so I'm a go-getter. Since I'm a go-getter, you know I'm gon' get her. And I will give her the world, anything for my beautiful girl.
Psych. Ooh, it's been a while that I've been trying to find a beautiful girl. Fine, brown eyes. I found me a beautiful girl. She's my model, she's so fine. I just wanna take it. Beautiful girl. Spoiling night, killing time. I found a beautiful girl.
Girl, it's your love that I've been missing. I miss all your hugs, your touching and kissing. Make love on the floor, the couch in the kitchen. One love enough, we done enough.
Friday night, what's going on, ladies and gentlemen of Prestige? Welcome back. How na day? How's everybody? Good. Everybody good? Yes. Ping everyone into the room. Oh, let them know. Share. How's everyone doing? On your way in, do me a favor, hit that like, share button and subscribe. I hope you're all doing well. It's a Friday night. It's a chill evening for me. I just want to relax, have a conversation, have a good time. That's all I want to do. I don't want to do too much. How's everyone doing? Let me see. Not too far now. How you doing? Good to see you. I see D Love, my sister. Welcome. Do me a favor, hit that like button. Let's get going. This is Man of Prestige. My name is Ola. I'm coming to you live from my Empire Pro Studios. Over here, we talk about relationships, we talk about power, we talk about self-power, social, emotional intelligence, seduction, and attraction. If we have time, we will talk about marriage. We'll talk about all those nice things if we have time, but it doesn't matter anyway if you don't understand these other things. But yes, if you haven't done so yet, make sure you get your hands on a copy of the book, any of the versions, PDF, audiobook, Kindle, paperback, they're all available. Just go to loveandprestige.com, and if you need access to personal coaching from myself and my wife, then that's also available through the same link. And if you want to be notified by me, you don't want to be the rest of the 2,400 people that didn't get this notification to be here today, then just go through that link, lolanola.com/WhatsApp. I personally notify you when we're coming live. You can also send a WhatsApp text to 732-305-8577. All right. So yeah, let's just have a good time. Listen, MOP, let me stay for party. I won't come back house. Really? How you did? Anyway, wife loves those products. She just literally sent me a message to say thank you to you. So shout out to you, Natu. Thank you so much. But yes, what are we talking about today? We're talking about the situation. Where is my $17,000? That's what we're talking about. If you don't know about this show, you should be already checking it out. It's called Love and Marriage Huntsville. I think they have Love and Marriage DC as well. I haven't really paid attention to that. We watched it a little bit, but not much. Probably should pick up on that as quick as we can too. But I watched this show a little bit, and for those of you that left a comment, you got me It's a show that I watch when I'm not really paying too much attention, just relaxing with wife. But I do pick up some of the things, and we talk about that, especially when it has to do with relationship and marriage. It's not really too necessary for me to get into the details of what's happening in these people's lives. This is not Power. The show that I watch attentively is Power Book Ghosts, 50 Cent series on Star. But I do pay attention to this. Let's be honest. I do pay some attention to it. Especially when I feel like there's some lessons we can extract out of it, particularly the lessons and not the gossipy part of it. Okay, so I might miss some information here and there when it comes to the in-depth details of how the side chick run after who is what. Yeah. But if you leave me a comment, I will highlight them. If you leave me a comment that I feel like we can talk about that has to do with what we can learn in terms of marriage and in terms of just love, just romantic relationships, then I'll be compelled. Like for example, tonight, so about 3 people left me some long comments. I was like, you know what? Let's come here tonight and talk about it and have some fun talking about it, okay? But just as we're doing that, if you want, I'll just go ahead and I'll leave the link in already. But I'll be reading some of the comments. I want us to get through it, okay? But this is weekend, so I'm not doing multiple stories or anything like that. We're just chilling for as long as it lasts, and then we'll have a good time. Then we'll go to bed, enjoy the rest of the weekend, right? So I'm gonna pin that to the top already. Pin message. All right, good. Should be good now. So you just want to pin that to the top, and then we should be good to go. There you go. All right, so we're talking about Melody and Martel. They used to be married. Let me see if I can find something to bring us up to speed with their timeline. Okay. Because I usually just skim through it, but maybe we can get some information with regards to their timeline here. Let's see. Melody is no longer Melody Oates. She's now Melody Shari, something like that. So, but they were married. They have 4 kids together, and they are still. Last time I checked, they were still in custody battles and things like that. But they were married for about 12 years or so. 12 years. Yep. So let me see here if I can find. Yep. Go ahead and hit the like button. Share, send this out to people on WhatsApp. For those of you already on the WhatsApp group, forward it out to some friends. Let's hang out. Let me see here. Melody Holds. Trying to see something a little bit more recent. Let's see. Interesting. Okay. Anyway, so they were married. There was one time that as soon as they got on the show, the word started coming out that this guy was having a full-blown affair, 5 years affair with some other lady, and before they even got a chance to enjoy the show, the stardom, the fame, the money, before they got a chance, all this story started leaking about them. And it was all over the place. The marriage was all over the place. They kind of pick up the pieces for a short while, maybe after the first season or so. And they came to a reunion. It was basically the 2 of them against the world. They fought everybody on the reunion. They were ganging up against people. But in that particular, I don't remember if it was second or third season, I could see through it. I was like, yeah, they're only bonding because they had common enemy in the rest of the cast. And before we knew it, they were pregnant. Okay, their last baby, they were pregnant. Well, she was pregnant. And then she had a baby, and then the marriage was over. Okay, that's basically how that worked. So, because the foundation was bad, so they were building on, I always tell people, if you have a spouse that's rude to everybody else except you, one day you will end up on the receiving end of it, right? Ladies, for those of you that enjoy toxic men who yell at people, they stand on their toes and stuff like that, there's nothing wrong with that. I understand attraction, how it works, okay? But just don't be surprised when you end up on the receiving end of that, because inevitably it will happen. Why? Because inevitably there's crisis, there's conflict. It's gonna happen, right? That's the way it's going to happen. But let me see if I can get some. I want to use this article here to bring you up to speed on this people, basically. Nearly a year after filing for divorce, this was posted 2021 March. That's about 2 years ago. So it's a little bit old, but I just want us to bring us up to speed of what got us here a little bit, right? You can see them right there. Nearly a year after filing for divorce, Martel and Melody Oates are single. Okay, so they've been single for 2 years plus. Wow. Their relationship drama has played out for the world to see on Owens Love and Marriage Huntsville. Despite a mistress, a love child, a social media beef, the Oates divorce settlement is amicable. So they had an amicable divorce settlement, which you would think like, wow, that's impressive, right? But no, it's not that simple. They're still struggling with it. On that last video, I played a video for you with him yelling outside of the birthday party of their daughter, and that's kind of like what we want to talk about today. But I just want to, again, a couple of ladies left some comments. I want to go through them. What drew Melody Oates to file for divorce? This is basically some backstory. Shout out to cheatsheet.com. Martel's cheating has been well documented on the show, but according to Melody, his infidelity wasn't necessarily her final straw. She revealed to Hollywood Life. Okay, 1 second. Let me see here. All right, I'll just continue reading. She revealed to Hollywood Life that a conversation between the two is what motivated her to finally leave. For me, this is and I quote, for me, during that time, there were certain statements and comments that were made that showed me that he had not matured at all. She said, that showed me that he was still at step 0 and hadn't even gotten to step 3, 4, or 5. Per Melody, Martel's statements do not register as someone who is regretful of the hurt their action continue to cause their family. Anyway, some of those comments were things like, let me see here. Yeah, Mel, and I quote, Mel, you need to talk to some of the older women. Yes, this was one of the most popular comments coming from Martel. You need to talk to some older women. I said, talk to some of the older women about what? Martel? Well, to let you know that this is what men do. Sometimes men, all men cheat. They just do what they do, And we're talking about a person that you're in a relationship with. That is not normal behavior. Okay, and that's not to even prove or disprove or say that not all men cheat. I think you all know the answer to that. Definitely not all men cheat, right? But that's not the point of that. The point is that somebody who cares about you, who subscribed to a monogamous relationship with you, that's in like they committed to a monogamous relationship with you, the least they can at least have is some fear of losing you. Right? That's the least they can have, right? It just makes sense. Now it's different if they subscribe to polygamous relationship with you, then you'd be like, yeah, you kind of knew, you saw this coming, right? but they're outrightly telling you like, hey, talk to some older women. They're basically trying to justify BS. Okay. So that was a statement that she said was some of the final straw. So talk to some of the old. So now she went and said, when she suggested that Martel talk to some of the older men, she alleges he told her that he had. Martel said his elders told him, don't mess around with nobody that doesn't have anything to lose. Make the person sign a contract. Like, come on, man. Yes, that was some of the famous comments he made. It's lack of emotional intelligence at best, right? What is your expectation if you say that to a woman? Like, what are your expectations? Even if she decides to stay with you, do you really think you're going to enjoy that relationship? She's going to resent you, number one, for not being able to escape you. Maybe she depends on you somehow, some way, but she's also going to resent you for betraying what you guys subscribe to together, right? So it's just a weak position altogether for Martel, right? She says a month after leaving Martel, he came clean about his long-term mistress being pregnant with his child. Yep. So after the back and forth, after finding out that that he was cheating with this 5 years extramarital affair, suddenly she left. 1 month later, she was pregnant. So that's some of the backstory. Martel and Melody Oates agreed to dissolve all shared businesses in their divorce. Throughout their 12-year marriage, the Oates built quite an impressive empire. They began a landscaping business that eventually transitioned into a booming real estate business. That's impressive. Through Oates and Oates Custom Homes LLC, the couple built homes from the ground up to meet their clients' everyday needs. They also purchased and sold properties and performed upgrades on already existing properties for their clients. Most of their work was in the residential area of real estate. The Oates became the go-to business for real estate. I'm kind of learning a little bit more about them right now. Even creating an academy along the way where they taught others to the road to success. So they had courses. I know she had courses in recent times around finding tax liens or something like that, foreclosure, type of deal, I know she had some courses around that. They also work with others in the industry. As seen on the show, they joined forces with others in the business to revitalize North Huntsville. They were known as the Comeback Group. All right, despite his use of custody, the Oates agreed to joint physical and legal custody of their children. The couple has 4 minor children ranging in ages now will be 3 to 11? I guess 11 or 12. Amid their split, Melody traveled to Atlanta for a brief period with their children to get away from the drama in Huntsville. While there, she and Martel agreed to split custody with them, having the kids 2 weeks each out of the month. They arranged pickup and dropped off their children at a mutual location. That doesn't sound like fun. I'm sorry. That does not sound like fun. I know a lot of people fantasize about that because of where they're coming from, right? Sometimes you just want to escape, because it's just that bad, right? Anyway, Martel threatened to go for full custody of the children, explaining that he feared Melody would flee with them to Atlanta full time. Melody purchased separate home for Martel in Huntsville to create a home base and keep the children close to their father. What? So that he feared Melody will flee with them to Atlanta. Atlanta should be, I think, an hour or something like that from Alabama, depending on what part, right? Melody purchased a separate home from Martel in Huntsville to create a home base and keep the... Okay, we get that part. The divorce settlement reveals that the Oates will have joint legal and physical custody of their 4 children. With no formal custody agreement in place, they will try to work together to determine a weekly schedule, which turned out to be a bad idea because somebody kept using that to manipulate the other person. Who, I don't know. But this is why when it gets messy like that, you want to have something on paper, because again, people are resenting each other, and oftentimes they won't follow through, or they will manipulate their way because you don't have anything on paper when they get upset. All right. Additionally, neither were awarded to pay child support nor alimony. They agreed to share expenses for their children. All right. So that's some backstory right there. They're still going back and forth. Martel seems to still be quite obsessed with her, right? Or obsessed with a need to be right, or validation of some sort, okay? Because it's since try to move on with a new lady, Cherie from the Atlanta show, right? But that's some background for you right there, Welcome, Chia Afana. How you doing? Do me a favor, ping everyone else into the room. We just did a little bit of a backstory on Martel. That's I just wanted to go through that really quickly, just so you can have some backstory, because often when I do it, I just kind of like skim through it really quickly with other stories. But we just did that. Anyway, so we had a couple of ladies left some comments here, and I thought, you know what? Let's get through it together. Let's see. So if you recall, a few days ago, I did a quick session on her Melody asking him to leave, right? The birthday party of their little baby girl. I think it's their first baby girl, right? And that's what we saw on TV. But oftentimes they show on TV what they want us to see, right? It just makes sense because they have millions of dollars at stake. So they show you what's more entertaining and not necessarily the true life story. But it seems like some people dig in deeper. Some people are avid followers of Martel, especially Melody. So they know everything she tells them online. But, I figure, let's talk about it anyway, because you guys probably know more than I do. So why not cover it together? And one of the information was something to the effect of he stole $17,000 from her. This is allegations. This is reports in the comments. It really doesn't matter the details, okay? But this is just a report. These are public figures, so we don't know. But there's some things there I thought maybe we should talk about, So I'm just gonna go ahead and read what they said. There are 3 comments here, about 4, okay? But it's under the previous video that I did. I'm not gonna mention their names, just in case they're not interested. So this person, I'm going to call this person AN as in Nancy. Person says, I don't believe Martel was there for his daughter's birthdays. Okay. I don't believe Martel was there for his daughter's birthdays. What was he there for? Let's see. I believe he popped up then and other times trying to find out who Melody is dating. I always find it funny when people just have their own idea of what they think happened. Like, never mind that we don't know the facts. Let's just talk about what I believe, right? So, but it's still interesting. Let's keep going. So this person believes that he just popped up just to monitor who Melody is dating. Now, the way he's been moving kind of aligns with that, right? Again, your best chances of getting her back, if it's possible at all, which it doesn't sound like it, right? The best chances is to let go first, okay? And when you let go, you have to mean it, okay? You have to walk away and mean it, essentially. That's your best chances. That means you're okay with the idea that she probably would never come back again. And if she was gonna come back, this is the confidence that she will see, that she will admire and will probably be attracted to again. But ego, pride, unrealistic expectations, those things no be anybody's mate. Coconut head is nobody's mate, right? So he probably can, he'll probably rather go the route of trying to control and be manipulative, because it's typically knee-jerk reaction and emotions, right? Anyway, Martel is openly, I continue the comment. Martel is openly stalking Mel and using the kids as an excuse. This is a bad move, right? If you have kids with somebody that you would like to get back with, the kids are by default a great opportunity for you to be your best version, okay? Not for the other person, not to get them back. It helps if that's what you want, but for you, right? You get to showcase a brand new person. Because obviously the person before that was not competent enough. Not bad. I didn't say a bad person. I said not competent enough to keep that marriage. Competency, right? Competence, right? Right? It wasn't good enough to keep that marriage together. So something was not adequate. It's not a crime. It's just the reality, right? It's not blaming you. It's just that's literally the result you have today. Okay, not competence. I know that's kind of offensive. Something was not good enough to keep it together, right? That's just the reality. So whatever it was, let me keep working on myself. You can't change other people. Martel, you can't change Melody. So the best thing you can do is continue to work on yourself so you can be a better self. And the fact that you have kids with this person, it just means for the rest of your life, you have an opportunity to, I'm better than myself yesterday, right? But let me guess, the egos won't let you. The ego won't let you. Pride won't let you. Shout out to Miss Ann. Shout out to Miss Ann. I see you there. Welcome. She said, I saw another video of yours on the oats. I agree that Martel's insecurity is irritating to Melody. You can't make this up, right? So the ego, coconut head, stubbornness, it's not going to let him calm down to even see what I am saying. He probably have to hit rock bottom all the way. I don't know what that is, okay? Before he can get it. But if you could, right? And I'm speaking from experience. If you could, you're going to have to, hey, I've got kids with this person. I don't have to force anything. It's an opportunity to continue to showcase a better self to me. God damn it, to me, not to the other person. I care, but not really, right? I'm just going to be a better person. It's an attitude, it's a mindset that needs to be adopted, right? But it's going to take everything. It's almost impossible to humble yourself to that level when you've gone through what they've gone through. It's almost impossible. It's possible, especially with a coach. It's possible. With support system, it's possible. But when you know and you think that you know, and you've concluded in your mind that there's nothing else to learn, she was just wrong, right? When you feel that way, it is what it is. You just move accordingly, basically with arrogance, unrealistic expectations, and a healthy amount of pride enough to destroy your chances ever. Martel is openly stalking Mel and using the kids as an excuse. And the person now said, please explain why he's not going after the mistress child when she has had nervous breakdown online in front of everyone and has shown herself to be inappropriate online in front of her kids. So he has a mistress who has had a child for him now. So Martel has 5 kids in total. Last time I see anything around that information, right? And according to this comment, she had been breaking down online, back and forth, and just inappropriate behavior, I quote, nervous breakdown online, but he's not going after that person. Let me tell you something. The worst thing, and clearly, obviously, that can happen to a man is to lose his family. Even though, even when clearly his bad behavior is what led to the demise of the family, right? But it's literally the worst thing that can happen to a man. Like, that the side chick or whatever you want to call it, the mistress. Yeah, even Martel. I remember Martel calling her a peasant on live TV. If you watch that show, you remember that, right? Called her a peasant, right? It's crazy. Hey, Maji Love, good to see you. Good to see you. You said that he should give her a chance to miss him. Yes, same point. He's making a pest of himself. Yeah. Yes. It's a formula. It works. It works. And when I say it works, what I mean is that you can't lose going through that process, right? If she never comes back to you, it just wasn't meant to be. But you can't lose focusing on working on yourself and being your better version of yourself. You can't lose. And that's the only thing that increases your chances of attracting her back. Because let's be honest, the streets loves nobody, right? There's nothing in the streets, right? There's nothing in the streets. You're all, if you focus on working and bettering yourself, which is easier said than done, by the way, because there's a reason why you have bad behavior, right? If you there's nothing in the streets for anybody, right? So it's actually, if he just calms down and is able to have some support system to go through the process, it's like the lowest hanging fruit. You got kids with this lady already. There's nothing better than that in the streets if you could just be a better person. But the ego is a bastard. Let me keep going here. The mistress is not financially secure, according to AN. Wouldn't their child benefit more from Martel having primary custody? Yeah, that's not the issue. So that's a good point. She's making a point that it's just that Martel wants her back and is stalking her, doesn't want her to date anybody else, which is weird. And I mean weird as in like he's harming himself doing that. It's literally time away from working on himself. There's only so much energy you have, right? You put those energy into all this weird behavior, controlling, manipulative behavior. It just makes things worse, And then it's time away from showcasing the betterment to your children, right? Wouldn't their child benefit more from Martel? He doesn't care about that. He cares about his kids, obviously. I think a lot of people testify to the fact that he's a good father. He cares about his kids. And that's obvious, right? But that's only talking about from a proactive standpoint, okay? What about the emotional skill set that you need, right? What about the emotional skill set that you need to raise children? What about that part? Now, again, a few days ago here, I talked about that. People are very quick to say somebody can be a great father and not a great husband. I'm like, I don't know if I agree with that too much, okay? I'm not sure about that, okay? Because there's at an emotional level, there's some skill set that you need, at least from something as simple as active listening. You're gonna need that skill set in keeping your home together with a woman, your wife, and you're gonna need the same skill set with parenting. You need the same skill set. Hey, Tima, good to see you, Tima. Right? You're going to need the same skill set. There's no way around it. Now, I'm a good father. I pick up my kids. I cook for them. All this stuff. That's cute, okay? Go ask Brian McKnight. Right? That's cute. That's nice. Good for you. Here's some candy for being a good father. Clap for yourself. But at an emotional level, being able to listen to your children beyond just the physical or observing just physical stuff, that's another skill set level entirely that no one is talking about, right? Is he able to do that? Because if he's doing that, he's definitely not gonna be participating in stalking and wasting a lot of energy on actively making sure she doesn't date another person. Bad idea. She's gonna date another person, nothing's gonna happen. All right. Yeah, that's given in terms of insecurity, right? And I've seen that, and I've seen that on the show. It's obvious, right, that he's doing that. So it's not just this comment. Let me continue the comment. So she says, I think it's a she, A-N. Melody is not wrong for keeping him away from her space when Martel is secretly recording her, following and videotaping her on a date, popping up on her, throwing fits on her movie sets. But here's the issue with that. It's not about wrong, right or wrong. It's never about right and wrong. Okay, maybe Melody is not wrong, but to me, it's never about right or wrong. Is it healthy? Is that going to create a good outcome for them eventually? I don't agree, unless it's like it's tough. I just can't tell people how to react to issues. She might just not, maybe she doesn't feel safe. I can't tell men and women how to react to situations that don't make them feel safe. Because emotions is nobody's mate. Okay? I can't tell you that. And I can guarantee you that yes, they will weaponize yours against you if it means they are going to feel safer. That's the harsh reality. I know you're expecting me to tell them they are wrong for keeping the babies away. I know. You're not wrong for saying they're wrong. I think they're wrong. but I don't think that's...
You're right.
Yeah, I don't think that's relevant. I think you should have realistic expectations of human beings. When they feel hurt, they will hurt. Okay? When they feel like there's no value in whatever behavior you're asking them to do, they're not going to budge. Even if, quote unquote, you call it right and wrong or right. Just do the right thing. Like, what do you mean? What's the value in it for them? Have you thought about that? Or you're just going to be like, no, they should just do the right thing. Well, how's that working out for you? I'm waiting. How's right the fact that they know the right thing to do? How's that working out for you? It just doesn't work. Right and wrong is in the mud. Okay, and when you're too focused on right and wrong, yeah, it's an anti-seducer. It's poisonous. Okay, and it might be hard for you to get that right now, but it's true. It's poisonous. Okay, for a good relationship. And wait, are you trying to tell people to do wrong? Exactly. You're still obsessed with right and wrong, because I didn't ask anybody to do wrong. I'm just telling you need to dig a little bit deeper than that. Okay? If you think it's right, you're right. If you think it's wrong,
You're right.
But you need to think for your own good. You need to think a little bit deeper than that. Value. What is in it for me? WIIFM. What is in it for them? Why are you asking them to whatever this behavior? Is it gravitation away from pain or towards pleasure or relief? If it's none of those two, don't waste your breath. Okay, people don't care. People don't care about anything outside of their feelings. Men and women alike, they just don't care. Just letting you know right now. Does that mean you shouldn't call people out when they're wrong? No, I didn't say that. I never said that. I just want you to be aware that it just might not be enough. That's all. Okay. Just awareness. It doesn't mean you're not going to be triggered. Okay. When they do, quote unquote, the wrong things. It doesn't mean that, you know. But yeah, let me see here. I see Tima is hanging out with me. Let me go ahead and try to finish this thing here. 1 second. Hey, Mbasi Afana. Are you okay? I'm muted. How you doing? Can you hear me?
Can you hear me?
Yes. How you doing?
Hello. I think I don't know if my internet, I think it's lagging.
Yeah, you might have to go back out
Yes,
and
ma'am.
in. You might have to go back out and in again. You drop back out and come back in. Let me kick her out
Go
of the
back
studio.
and come back. Let me do that.
Yeah. Let's see here. Awesome. She'll come back in. All right, let me get back to the comments. Okay, so the comment says he's been secretly recording her, following and videotaping her on a date, popping up on her, throwing fits on her movie sets. It's crazy. That is definitely weird behavior, if it's true. Okay, we don't know if it's true. He's violating her and she needs a restraining order, but she would lose her show. Because once they have restraining order, they can't do a show together, right? It's a terrible situation. I don't see it getting better for her as long as Martel has access to her and sees her success and accomplishment without him. Yeah, it's crazy. I don't know if this is true. I'm just reading a comment on our videos. She's also hiding her new love interests. Yeah, that's weird too, because she knows Martel will come after him. With what? And what kind of men we hang around that's being hidden? Because X will come after you? That's weird. I don't know. He already outed a city councilman that he thought she was dating, and she wasn't even dating him. He's a pain in the arse. She wasn't wrong at all. Well, it's not healthy. Again, I don't care about right and wrong. It's not healthy to be keeping the father away from the kids on their birthday. This affects the kids eventually. So I think whatever they need to do about that, they need to do. It's just it's a bad idea. Mbasiana, is it better? Uh-oh. You're muted, just so you know. Maddie Love says, when people no longer have empathy, that's what happens. That's facts. Okay? Now, if they feel hurt, especially if they feel like it wasn't fair, just keep in mind that every time you feel like something is not fair, the other person also feel like it's not fair. So again, playing the fairness, good or bad, cop game with it doesn't work. You need to think a little bit deeper than that. Get a support system if you need that. I'm here. I'm just trying to finish work. I hear you, Jerry. You're good. You're good. You're good. Those are some poisons. Hit the like button if you're getting some value from this today. Hit the like button. Thank you. All right. So that was one of the comments. I'm gonna go to another comment. There were about 4 of them. Thought they were quite insightful. All right. Let me see here. Can you hear me now? I'll mute your mic. Are you on vacation again in the middle of nowhere? I can't hear you. You're muted. Your network must not be strong enough. Or maybe restart your phone or something like that. Or get another browser. Yep, it's not working. But let me know if you can talk. Miss Ann said he's been doing some things to let potential suitors know that he has not given up reconciliation. Yeah. I could tell, even on this season, he wants her back. It's obvious, But then he's pretending at the same time, and that's manipulative. Like, hey, I don't really care to want her back, but I kind of want her back, but not really. I hate that I lose my family. Like, listen, make it known. This is what men do. You say, hey, I want you back, but you keep living life, right? And all the extras, the manipulative stuff, let me see you to your door, let me see you to the car, and she doesn't just want to be around you. Yeah, all of that's going to make it worse, right? Actions needs to be speaking louder. Okay? Actions needs to be speaking louder. Leading by an example, right? What example? You've got kids together. That's an opportunity that all those new suitors of ours will continue to struggle with. There's a way you move that every new suitor will be jealous of you for the rest of their lives. They will never feel secure. But he doesn't get that. He doesn't get that. And Granted, it's easier said than done because emotions is nobody's mate. You know, D-Love says he already lost her. It's been 2 years. They finalized their divorce in 2 years. I've seen people come back together after 5 years. Anything is possible because, again, you know, he has some things in the credit that he can use if he wants to learn how to use them. You know, let me see here. Let me go back to this comment here. I have a CH left a comment. Is that the same person? I don't think so. Okay, this is the person that told us about the $17,000. Melody has been more than fair, CH says. He stole $17,000. Say 17K. I hope that's what that means. But I don't know. It's just what they're saying, right? He stole $17,000 out of our account. It's Mistress Ariane Curry. Look up her lives. Okay, well, maybe we will. Of now 8 years, has tormented Melody openly on social media, and Martel, the day of her move from the marital home, denied her access while his mistress was pregnant and bragging about it. It's going to be hard for anybody, not even just women, to deal with this kind of betrayal. Right? Yeah, it's going to be hard to come back from that. Let's see here. Let me make sure no one is hiding out in my corner. Okay, good. Martel and Melody have 50-50 custody, and their weeks, birthdays, and holidays are planned by the court. Okay, so it's a court order that prevented Martel from being there to give the kids a healthy environment. He violated that agreement. If he was there at all, I don't think a court order would have allowed that, especially on TV. I don't think the court order prevented him at all. I think she just didn't want him to be there. But again, she can justify it. It will be better if they're not in that space, but clearly they're in that very toxic space. Let's not forget that he filed a lawsuit for 100% custody, fighting her for having too many people around the kids. Again, hurt people. There's no way she's gonna look at that and say, hey, you filed a lawsuit and now I should be kiki with you at the birthday. Listen, she's going to resent you. Like, what kind of unrealistic expectations are this, man? So it's a court order that prevented. Martel had no right to be there and caused a scene. He didn't have a right to be there. And he doesn't realize that he didn't have a right. Like, if she allowed him to be there, that would have been a privilege. And I keep telling you, almost everything in life, in reality, when it comes to relationships, it's a privilege. Okay? Almost everything. You have to look at it. It's a mindset as a privilege, which allows you to approach things with gratitude so that you can appreciate it, edify it, and then more of it will happen. But you know what most people do, men and women? They approach things with a sense of right. It's my right, right? And then it's taken away from them, and then they're surprised. Like, it's my right. I was just watching another video. It says, I demand. You demand? Clearly, it's not working. Are you paying attention to the fact that your demands are not working? Right? It's a mindset. It doesn't mean it's not necessarily your right, but you have to even look at some of your rights. You have to look at them as a privilege, right? Unless we're really talking about things at a macro level, society, political thing, activist thing, human rights level thing. But if we're talking about personal relationships, you have to see things as a privilege. It's a blessing for this person that you clearly value to be in your life. And if you don't see things that way, you're going to self-sabotage all the time. Because they will prove to you sooner or later, they will get that, they will have that one upper hand over you and take it all away from you. It could be your voice. Right? Melody advised him that he could come after the party to get their daughter. She did say that. Right? Martel had no right to be there and caused a scene for a moment for TV, even though it wasn't Martel's day or scheduled time. right? No, but I want to be there for the kids. Like, you're gonna, if you just calm down right now, your whole life is ahead of you. More likely, you will have more. Just let go. Letting go is one of the hardest things for human beings to do. You need to be aware of that. So if you don't feel like letting go, just understand that you're not really that special. You're like the rest of us. But this is where the work comes in. You do the work. You let go. You try your best. You let go. Right? Melody advised him that he could come after the party to get their daughter, which she didn't have to do. After all of that, she didn't have to do that, right? After all of that, Melody also paid a light bill for Martel in order for him not to have his kids on his scheduled time. That paper you saw in Martel hand was an order of denial that he tried to have the judge sign to remove his daughter from the party. Wow. If that's true, that's mad. To remove his daughter from the party on an unscheduled day and time. This is so triggering. If you're trying to give a teachable moment, please watch and learn. That's what she was saying. Martel was verbally abusive and very aggressive. Yeah, we saw that screen, right? You can watch the video again. It's like 3 videos ago on the channel. It was screaming, right? In front of the baby's birthday. Eventually he left. But only God knows how long that small 2 minutes on the show was. It could have been 20 minutes. It could have been 2 hours to get him to leave. Right? Crazy. Let me see here. To scream in his... Please watch and learn. Martel was verbally abusive, very aggressive. To scream in his kid's grandmother's face like that was very disrespectful. And he had done that also to Melody. Martel has bugged her phone and police report was filed. I think I remember something like that. He had showed up on dates, assault a staff member following Melody. The list goes on. You should have been speaking on what to have done if you're involved with a narcissist. Melody has detached from Martel years ago when he publicly stated Melody didn't satisfy him or that Melody was giving another man fellatio, which is a disgrace to him. He doesn't realize it's disrespect to himself to be saying that. Watch the show before someone takes your advice and is harmed by a person like Martel, giving chances that a person who has proven many times he didn't deserve. Melody walked away not asking for anything, not even support for the kids. She just wanted peace. Please watch the show. See, I can engage Shalaye and start to explain myself here. But no, I won't do that. Shout out to you, CH, for the comment. I appreciate the comment. But no, we don't really worry too much about knowing all of the details before we just rub minds together here. I'm not exactly giving any advice here. I have a coaching practice. If anybody wants to sign up, they sign up and then we deal with them. So if anybody's taking advices from this, they're in OYO. Okay. All right. But we're rubbing minds. People are learning a lot from here. You just shared some things with us. I cannot diagnose Martel. I can't. All right. I can't diagnose it with MPD. I can't do that. I'm not allowed to do that. But I could see the traits. You're right. These are traits of these are narcissistic traits. But that's all we can say about that. Okay. But what I can tell you is that a lot of men, quote unquote, good men, right? They don't realize that they're doing the wrong thing. Right. And sometimes when I share with you, you might be interpreting the other way around, that I'm giving people chances. No, it's not mine to give chances. However, there's some men that can take away from what we're talking about and actually put their family back together. And you're not going to discount that because of Martel's story. But what I can also concede to is that if a woman is dealing with a narcissist, somebody who has gone completely cuckoo, the advice I give them is to find a coach, a therapy, a counselor, engage proper counsel, engage wise counsel. Okay, that's the first thing you should do. Okay, and don't watch YouTube videos to replace that, because that's not gonna work. Okay, but I think we can still learn some things here. Okay, but thank you for your comment. Regardless, let me see. Is Tima back here? Are you back? Did you come? Are you there?
I came back. I never give up.
How you doing? Happy Friday.
I'm good. How are you? Happy Friday.
I mean, I'm like,
How you guys
maybe
doing?
you're in Bailey somewhere or something like that.
I wish, and I'm supposed to. I changed. I something happened, so I couldn't. I'm supposed to be somewhere this weekend. I'm not lying, but it's okay.
Yeah, you're balling. I want to be like you when I grow up.
Oh no. Hey,
I
man.
do.
I mean,
Travel the world, bad
you know,
signals,
I'm getting old. I'm just trying to do the best I could while I can right now. I don't wanna, you know. Yeah.
People
But
say this
anyway,
guy, the guy is just an idiot. Melody should just move on. Miss Ann says, to me, they both are highly competitive, coconut head. And this custody battle brought that out in the worst way. Sometimes at the expense of the children. I think all the time at the expense of the children. Go ahead, Mbasi.
no, I was going to say that. I mean, to watch the. I mean, if you watch the show, maybe you might understand a little bit why Melody moves the way she moves. But that's number one. Number two is I feel like, and I said this before, that Martel case can be like a case study of how toxic people can come to your life and just tear everything apart. It's like, if I can have you kind of thing, nobody else will have you, and just gonna make your life, miserable as much as they could. Yeah. And that's another one. And another way to look at it is like people like Martel is like, he is like a Mango Park of America here. I'm not gonna lie. I mean, the way he moves, I cannot with that guy. And then I worry about, so because we get to see them on TV and we get to see, I mean, their own case is kind of publicly displayed. A lot of women are going through exact thing or similar situation that Melody is going through with Martel. I'm not lying. Silently, like they, even though nobody can see it or hear them. But like you said, the person that suffered the most in that kind of situation are the children. Yeah. So, to cooperate with someone like him, they don't, from my understanding, it's like they don't co-parent, they kind of counter-parent with the other
It's difficult.
Yeah, it's so difficult. So it's like you have this boundary you have to put up as the parent who emotionally stable, and then you have to do that with the other parent that is not emotionally stable,
right?
And at the same time you are trying to now be the one that's going to tell the children how unstable the other parent is. At the same time, you're trying to protect your children to make sure that you are doing the best that you could, so that to avoid this dynamic of power struggle between an adult and the children. So that can be a lot on the parent that is trying to do everything right, compared to the parent that's just trying to do everything for him or herself alone. Because for my opinion, everything Martel is just for Martel. Martel is not for anybody, not for his children, not for the baby mama, not for the side chick, not for nobody. It's just for himself, in my opinion, from what I see on the screen. So it's difficult, any way that Melody moves, I think she's moving in the best interest of herself and the children. And if you are watching that, it can be very difficult in a way like maybe she's been difficult, but she's doing what she has to do to make sure that, she keeping her children safe emotionally. That's the emotional part of it, which nobody can see except the person that's in the situation.
Yeah, it's crazy. Miss Ann says, "Hey, shout out to you, Miss Ann. Please always come back." She says, "I understand why Melody sets strict boundaries. I mean, that's the only thing I can think of in terms of what the young lady that left the comment was saying. How do you deal with narcissists like that? You're going to need some hard set boundaries. Hopefully backed by the court too, because are you still there? Did you go mute? Okay.
Yes, I'm here. I'm here.
Okay.
Yeah, yeah. I'm here.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know what you. Listen. If you're dealing with a narcissist, or you suspect you're dealing with a narcissist, you definitely need to talk to a therapy. You need personal. You need to first talk to
Absolutely.
therapist yourself.
Yeah, and I think the way Melody is showing up now is as a result of the fact that she has done a lot of work on herself. If you watch their show previously, it was terrible. It was, of course, she was in it at that time. She didn't know what she was dealing with.
So let me be devil's advocate for a second. Okay, when she got pregnant with their last born, were you watching the show at that time? Was first, second season?
Yes, I was. I was.
She was pregnant. She was pregnant at the reunion, and she came there locked arms together with Martel, and they were fighting the rest of the cast mates. Do you remember that?
Right. I remember that.
Whenever I remember that, I can't help but to think that she seems to have enjoyed the toxic Martel when it was both of them against the world. Right? That doesn't mean she deserved to continue that, but I'm just saying that's
right.
Go ahead.
So, like, the way I see it, it's like Melody is doing what most women would do in that kind of when you're in a toxic situation. Sometimes there's a window of time that it will be good, and then it get worse, and then it will be good, and then it will get worse. Okay, it's like a roller coaster thing, of feelings and emotions that goes into it. I'm guessing like that particular scene, I think, is in the period of when she feels like they're in good place. So when you are in good place and you are in a relationship, it's both of you against the world, not the other way around, right? And I think that was what Melody was displaying that time, as in she has her husband by her side. Whatever was going on in that particular scene is them against the other people. Not so the toxicity of the relationship itself. I think it was on a low level. It wasn't. It seems like they're getting along at that particular time.
They were trying to get along, Sha.
Right, they were trying to get along, and Melody is the one that's doing most of the work at that time.
She was basically covering him.
Yes, right. She's the one that's doing most of to make it work, kind of thing. Because Martel is still Martel. Tomorrow, yesterday, forever, it's still Martel.
Right.
So, but Melody didn't at that particular time. She didn't. She still feel like they can still save the marriage. I mean, I was in it. I know exactly how that feelings when you feel like, okay, I think
maybe there's hope.
Right. Like you are hopeful. You don't want to give up. You are hopeful, and then before you know it, the next situation is gonna worse than the last one. And then it's a lot. Unless you are in that kind of similar, if you've lived that similar experience, then you
might not get it.
There's no way. Yeah, you might not get it like that.
Yeah. I can only imagine it. I do have the gift of being able to, just imagine. The way I imagine it is that imagine in your head, you're hearing voices, you're trying to escape yourself, but you can't. And it's like, you can't escape it. And you kind of feel entrapped, like, if you're a claustrophobic person, imagine that at a mental level, meaning you literally can't escape, which is why some people will run to seek deliverance from spiritual leaders and stuff like that, right? So that's the way I imagine a person in that kind of situation where you feel like you can't get away from evil. Not to call him evil like
It's
that,
like
but
it feels like a mental prison.
yeah, like
It
a
feels
mental
like mental
prison.
prison. Yeah, somebody put you in like an emotional chokehold, and they will put you on emotional chokehold, and then you are struggling. It's like, I'm gonna die, please let it go, or I'm gonna pie, let it go. And then at the
Right.
time where you're about to stop breathing, they will release you a little bit. And when they give you that release, it feels good at that
It's
time.
hopeful. It's
It
hopeful
feels
because
good.
of
Yes,
how
and then you
deep
say,
where you're coming from.
right, because you almost pie before they let go of you a little bit, just for you to catch your breath, and then before you know it, you are right back in it. So to have to do that on a consistently basis, and then your brain started to go into this place where you are so doubtful of yourself, like your core self. You can't even trust yourself. You can't believe anything about yourself. It almost feels like you depend on them for everything. On at emotional level, I'm talking about at emotional level.
Right,
So
right,
you
right.
can't even trust your own
You
judgment.
can't even
Yes.
trust
So for
yourself.
a little no, you can't. So for a little time that they show you this glimpse of what you think is supposed to be, it feels good for a moment.
Yes.
It's like a drug. It's like for the moment it feels good, and then you want more of that. You crave that, and then you are looking for it. So it doesn't matter how they treat you. Once they show you a little bit of that, you kind of like, okay, maybe it's not that bad. Okay, maybe we can work. It's a lot. Like, I was in it for 14 years. I know exactly why she do what she
You
has
know
to
that
do.
feeling.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, I can only this is why I always tell people, either we're talking about forgiveness or anything at emotional level, you can't manipulate people into it. Oh, she should forgive. Oh, you should be able to, like, no, you don't know that. You don't know what that feels like in that person's head. So you you can't really say that. It's you're just wasting your breath. If the only healthy way for forgiveness to happen, if it comes from the heart, it comes from them, right? They've deemed it like, okay, I can trust this person, especially if he's following somebody that's changed their behavior and they're consistent over a period of time. But a person that's consistently behaving this way and they're putting you to a space where you can't trust yourself, that's not a good look, right? It's not a
Yeah,
good
that's
look.
not. And then it's like you it's tough. And forgiveness will eventually come, but again, you have to do some kind of internal work. It
Right.
takes a lot of internal work to get you to the place where you can actually see that person for who they are. Not really that you want to continue with them in a romantic level, but at least you can see them as a human being, just as imperfect as you yourself are. Right. Like, that is just, they are not perfect. I'm not perfect. So you
Right.
can just see them like you will see anybody else. And then when you have children with that person, you can somehow find a way to work yourself around it without compromising your own emotions, your everyday emotions. You know what I mean?
Right. Right.
It
Right.
takes work. It takes a lot of work, and it takes a lot of quietly and patiently to get to that point.
I have to be honest with you. A part of me, because I remember that, and I remember they were kind of being mean to the rest of the cast from that reunion. A part of me was like, wanted to do the, like, "Nolomu, I told you, like this doesn't look good. Like, we could see through you that you guys are not really." She was pregnant. By all physical indication, it looks like they were doing well, but I could see through. I was like, this is not authentic. You're bonding because you're fighting against these people, and that just didn't look right to me. Lo and behold, by the time they came back for the
Absolutely.
next season, they already had the baby, and it was already
Yeah.
bickering all over the place that they're
Yeah, it
separated
was
and it
gone
was
by then.
over. And I'm like, all this focus, all this energy needs to go back into yourself as individuals first, and then as a couple. And then, but it's difficult because, again, you have to remember, money was involved. This show paid them a lot of money, right?
Yeah, money. Yeah, yeah. A lot of money was involved. And so, like, the TV is one thing, which is giving them money. They have their business and their individual,
The
their
business.
togetherness when, uh-huh. the TV.
The business, the TV, the fame, the money. There's a lot going on there.
There's a lot that tied them together at a time. And the funny thing is, there's one of the businesses that they had, where with the body cream thing, whatever, I forgot the name. So I remember Melody was telling him then when they were in the midst of going their separate way, Melody was telling him that she's willing to give him 15% from that business, moving forward. And Martel was like, well, if you cannot give me 50% of that business, we must as well just dissolve it. And Melody had to dissolve that business.
So
after everything, she went back and restarted at the same way with different name, but another business of the same business now. And I kind of look at that particular scene and I said, sometimes you feel, because Martel is just, in my opinion, I feel like he's just a user. He's looking for someone who he can just use, and then he would take the credit.
I agree.
He want all the credit.
Yeah, I agree, but it's not necessarily intentional. So the users also do that, and they self-sabotage themselves in the process, right? So it's not like, oh, let me wake up today and let me go and find Melody and use her, right? That's not how it plays out. It plays out almost at a level of I'm trying to describe it, at a level of I woke up today, I'm an ignorant person, right? And I'm gonna share this ignorance with the next person I can feed off of, right? With my narcissism, whatever you want to call it, but it's coming from more of a place of ignorance, and that's not an excuse for him at all. I think it's actually worse when you're doing it and you don't realize you're doing it, right? I actually think it's worse, because if you know that you're doing it, at least we can destroy you or get rid of you completely, right? But it's worse when you sit down, because I see, sometimes I have conversation with them. I say that behavior, it's a controlling behavior. Like, how is that controlling? I'm just like, this is why it's a controlling behavior, because first of all, you're hurting yourself. You're taking too much energy away from taking care of yourself. You're trying to act like a macho, superhuman person. You're not. You need to be focused on taking care of yourself, and all these things you're trying to manipulate, to control, to come to you will naturally want to be around you. So, and I say that because I want them to see, like, listen, you're hurting yourself. So some of them are like that. Don't get it twisted. There are evil people that are absolutely evil, but I think he loved his family. I think it's just another incompetent man. That's what I think is going on. But let me read this last comment, then we can talk about it. Hang out with me, don't leave. Let's see here. Okay, so another one from ATTPC. Okay, left a comment saying, I'm beginning to not like Melody. If I had a party for my daughter and her dad showed up, do you know how happy she would be? I want to know your comments about this, so I'm reading it, okay? I have to put my feelings aside. This is not about me. This is about the child, my daughter. I, as a mom, have to make sacrifices, and my main focus is my child, especially on her birthday. Long as my child is happy, I'm happy. If I got a problem with him, I will deal with that later. Why did she not let Martel in? Is this about her or her daughter? Right. Before I go, somebody replied, this person with the long one, but before I go into it, what are your thoughts about that, Embassy? Are you there?
No, not here. Sorry. I was going back and forth. Like I said,
Right.
unless you know... hold on one second.
Okay, no problem. She said emotional chokehold, though. She did say that, right? Yeah.
I was saying that, unless you know... so the previous years, when he's supposed to have them, and again, like I said, he feeds up on other people. That's what he does. When you watch the show, you will understand much better, because I watched it, so I kind of have the the idea of what it looks
So
like.
what is he feeding?
looking in.
Is it attention, validation? What exactly is that he's getting
No,
from this?
who, Martel or Melody?
Martel. Because you
No,
say he feeds off of it.
Yeah, he feeds off of that energy because he's an attention seeker.
Okay, so
Good
it's
or bad, it
attention.
doesn't matter to him. Yeah, he wants attention anyhow he can get it. It sounds so silly, but that's just the basic.
I
part
agree.
of
It's
it.
obvious to me. I agree with you, actually. I agree.
Yeah. So it's like previous year when he has them and he didn't do anything for them for their birthday because it's like the way it was set up, like one person will have them for even year and the other person will have them for odd year. So it's up to you as a parent how you work that out. Right? You don't have to. So when it's your year, you don't have to. But of course, I understand what the commenter was saying, but the commenter is not totally agree unless you understand the dynamic and the situation that they are in. Then you will know why Melody did what she did. Because she has tried so many times. The previous birthday that she sent him the invitation, he didn't show up. So how you want to show up with the one that they didn't give the invitation? That is. So it's like boundary does not apply to him. Like he would do what he's gonna do, but for some women, it doesn't work
apparently like he had an order that was denied that was supposed to be signed by a judge to remove the baby girl from the party, which is
yes. I mean, who does that?
What kind of entitlement? What kind of entitlement spirit is going on here? Like, first of all, it's not your turn. Second of all, you're trying to get order, and third of all, after you pull out the paperwork, you actually expect this woman to react positively.
Exactly. So who in their right mind will say, "Oh yeah, okay, we can be bestie"? Like, there's no way. Even if you want to, you can't because you keep coming back with all these, ridiculous requests. Like, I will do it at my own time. I don't care about what the law said. Like, who does that? And then you're gonna tell me, well, even if it's not a good husband, he's a good father. Really?
Yeah, I'm starting to call cap on that now. I'm starting to call cap on that because I'm hearing it way too much.
Because we are talking on an emotional level.
Yeah, exactly.
Me too.
Yeah, it's starting to get on my nerves. Oh, somebody can be a good father, a good husband. Like, can you stop? Why'd you say that? What is that? Like, why did you say that? Okay, we know that already. He's a good father, good. You have candy. We're talking today about you being a competent husband, romantic lover, particularly. That's what we're talking about, right? And when it's time to give you accolade for your children, she'll be the first to let you know. But she can't see you as a good father if you're actively videotaping her and walking around and destroying every chance she gets to have any little fun. It's an opportunity for you to take attention away from the situation. And if that's happening in front of camera that we only see 1 hour of the show, what else is happening behind the scenes is the question I would want to ask. Because in the real world, they will be looking at what's going to be the worst case scenario. I know I do teach here to always assume best case scenario, but that's if you have to guess something. But if there's somebody who's not feeling safe about their life, the authorities are going to look at the worst. They're going to assume the worst case scenario to protect everyone involved. So what is the worst case scenario if we can see that on TV? What else is going on behind the scenes is the question that people will be asking, and that should be your expectation, right? If they can see that much on TV, I personally, if I wasn't invited, clearly invited, like it's clean, there's no doubt she wants me to be there. No, you're the father, I want you to be there. If she's not acting in that attitude, I'm not showing up. In fact, my own pride is even worse. Right? You need to invite me, then I'll show up. If I'm not okay with that, I will throw another party for my baby girl later on, right? I will make sure she have better fun than yours. That will, if I really have to get that petty, right? But when you lack self-respect, right, this is when all this controlling behaviors start to creep in, right? When you lack self-respect, that's when it creeps in. That's when you feel like you need to control another human being. Oh, so you can't control your wife? You lack self-respect, because I don't have to control my wife before she does all this stuff you're trying to demand. It's lack of self-respect. Yeah, it's crazy.
And there was when I had a birthday, because when I do birthday for my kids, we do like a major milestone, like 1, 5, 10, 16, So one of my babies had one of the major last year, right? And I
Okay.
was telling my person, 2 months ahead of time, because we already asked the child. Actually, the child told me what she wants, right? Like, this is what I want for my milestone birthday, right? And I said, good. And the place that she want to have it, she already told me that. So as a normal person, right, the other parents, I went to him and I said, this is what my daughter said, and this is where she said she want to have it, is that, and we kind of agree. I said, okay, and he said, go ahead and plan it, whatever the case. Of course, we're gonna share the cost, right? So I went ahead, I planned everything, and a week before then, he said, all of a sudden, he just came from nowhere, and he said, well, I can't take off from work, so we're gonna have to do it the day before. So the day of the party is actually the day of the actual birthday.
Like move the whole day.
That's which was perfect for her, because it was the same day and it was weekend.
Okay.
So here come my person said, well, because he has to go to work, so we have to do it the day before. And I said, well, first of all, this is like a week before the situation.
Right, short notice.
Right, I thought we talked about this about 2 months ago. So you're gonna tell me that your work will not give you a day for your daughter's birthday. So now we have to, do it the day before. So I kind of thought about it. I said, you know what? Do your own on that day. I'm not gonna change the day, because already sent out the invitation. Well, now I said I'm just gonna go ahead and do it that day anyway. And of course, I have to carry all the cost because of that.
Right.
Which, if you are not strong enough, or you are not in your healing process, that alone can throw you off, and then make you want to do something very silly. Which, like, you want to act so, God forbid,
you're pissed off. You're like, what kind of madness is this?
Yeah, I just get sick of it. Just like, you cannot get reaction from me just because of that. Because of course they know where it will hurt you. They know where they can get you, and they will want to use that to just want to get reaction from you, and then just to make them feel like, well, yeah, I still have control over her. So it takes a lot of work to not having to be in that space anymore. Right. Because you've exposed to that space for so long, and they know the right button to press that they can press that will get you out quickly. So, and when they can't get that anymore, it's like, what else can I do to get her out of character, or get him out of character? Because it can go either way, So, yeah, Melody moves the way she moved because she have tried everything. I'm thinking, and I'm saying that because I'm a mini Melody on my side. So when you are trying to work on yourself and trying to do the right thing all the time, and then but the other person is just all they do is to sabotage whatever your progress is.
Right. It's the more I cover the story, the more it's making sense to me how she's moving. Because again, like I said, I can only imagine what else is going on behind the scenes, right? Miss Ann says, for Melody to trust him, he has to start by following the court order regarding visitation. Exactly, right? Exactly. What would you do with the information that you already have? The opportunities that you already have is what would determine what else will come to you in terms of goodness, right? And if you can't even handle that already, you might say it's unfair, they should give you more, but yeah, just remember the parables of the talents, right? It might seem unfair, but it's every opportunity you get to pass a test, you take it. You take it, but a lot of these modern men, they struggle with this because they're stuck on fairness. And it's even worse when they hear women say, oh yeah, let's be fair. And then they think they can get away with it. Like, no, She's saying let's be fair because she's sympathizing with you. She can't relate with the reality, your plight. You need to focus on being your best self. Focus on learning how to make the best use of opportunities that come to you, before you ask for anything else. Like before you ask for anything else, make sure you're being your best self within the opportunities that's already there for you. It's clearly going to take some time before things better. Yeah, they might have to hit rock bottom. Like it's all, it's just bad. Hopefully now with their children, no job in America that will honor that request is capping. Life with Natu says.
Yeah, that's true. And then and then another thing that he was trying to do is because Melody was trying to change her name back to her maiden name.
She did. She changed the name.
Yeah, she did, but not officially yet. She just kind of do it, but not officially yet. So officially, officially, what she needs to do is she has to be free from any legal pending case, right? Before she can change it. And Martel knows that. So it's like because he want her to keep his name. It's
right, because he wanted to
to
continue to fantasize
right,
about the idea that
right,
she's still with him.
right. With so because of that, she's not able to legally change that. What I did in my case,
I don't mind fantasizing too. I don't know why people can fantasize in their head. Must it be real life? Isn't that why we call it fantasy? Or does it have to be real life?
Martel, so in Martel's situation, his fantasies is like he has to come true every time. Like
now.
He cannot, like he has to display exactly how he was thinking it in his head, which is I don't get.
I mean, if you have a fine girl like what's her name again, Melody used to be your ex-wife, and now she's flaunting all over the internet. You naturally you want her back in your corner. I get that, but you have to have some self-control. Like Jesus Christ.
He doesn't have one. I mean, the way I say it, he doesn't have it. Yes.
Anyway, I have Brother Patrick here. Let me read this last comment, and then I'll hear what Brother Patrick has to say about what we're talking about. So this last comment is a response to the person who was like, I'm beginning to not like Melody. So this person, I'll call her LB. Person says, why did she not let him in? Maybe because it was she said, why did she not let him in? Right? Maybe because it was court ordered that this was her year to have the child on their birthday. I think that's what she just said, Mbasi. She is now required to invite him. She has spent countless holidays without her children because it fell on his week with the kids. She didn't bother him or invade any of his time with the kids. She celebrated the holidays after and before the date when the kids return. He's also trying to actively control this woman by filing false claims in the court, trying to gain full custody of their children. He's also asking for her to pay him child support. Hey, did you be this one? Half of her business profits from her baby skincare line. What? Don't forget he's stalking her, meanwhile asking the judge to force her to disclose sexual partners she has been intimate with since the divorce. That's where who are the babies with, who is in the house that he doesn't, that's where that's coming from. It doesn't end there. This stalker asked for her to turn over all social media usernames and passwords. He even falsely accused the wrong guy of being her boyfriend, exposing the wrong man by releasing information about his arrest that no one would have known on a national level. You're right, ladies and gentlemen, in the comments, I did not know any of this. I stand corrected. Anyway, thank you for leaving this. Jesus Christ, allegedly still, okay? Everything we say here is alleged anyway. So disgusting to be so obsessed with your ex-wife that you're willing to embarrass someone wrongfully. But Patrick, sir, how are you, sir? You can, let me see. I might need to unmute you. Unmute yourself. There you go. How you doing, sir?
Yeah,
I can hear you.
I'm just driving in. I'm in my garage. I just have to
Okay. You see they are this late.
First of all, say, yeah, I really appreciate Embassy's analysis and our choice of words. You know what I mean? She was using the right words for the analysis. I wish Embassy will end up being a mentor or
for a lot of people.
A counselor.
Yeah,
She'll be good at it. Let me just put that out there. She's gonna be very good at based considering her experience, she'll be able to counsel people right. But you know what? One thought that just came to my mind is like, when two adults are into it, especially when they have kids, so to say, it's like you are breeding thorns among the weeds. So those thorns will be growing in those kids. By the time they grow up with that, it's a disaster.
Yeah.
I must tell you, it's a big disaster.
Those kids are gonna have to deal with their own issues later in life. Yeah.
Serious. You might think they don't know what is happening.
Oh yeah.
Even if they might as young as 5 weeks old, let me just put it that way, and they grow with it. It's even better for you to go out quick as soon as possible. When you're in that situation and you are bringing those kids and they may not say a word, but they are seeing everything, and the thorn is growing in their belly, in their that is the effects. I must tell you, I watched that video when the guy went and the guy was yelling when the woman asked him to get out of the
right. A few days ago. Yes, right. At the birthday. Yes.
When the guy was yelling, the kids are saying, and they begin to ask some questions. You might think, I'm just throwing this a general listener.
Yes, now.
Those kids don't know. They know everything. Hola.
They know. They know now.
Grow up, it's going to be part and parcel of them. It's going to affect them mentally and everything. So we have to be very careful. The truth, that's what just came to my mind, because the parents themselves, you can see Mbasi was talking about even you going for therapy to get out of it, you know what I mean? So the parent might not be able to even, they might say, okay, the woman will say, let me take custody of the kids. You have not even taken care of yourself.
Yeah.
So there's going to be a transfer aggression. The way you're going to be dealing with the kids is going to be different.
Yep. They're going to know.
So
they're going to know.
The kids are going to catch it. It's like, like infectious disease. I'm not saying they're going to be acting like adults, but, it's going to be in their DNA.
Yeah. I have a real life example going on right now. They're going to resent all of this. Yeah.
So adults have to be very careful. All these the way we do things and the kids don't know, it's gonna be a vicious circle of divorce upon divorce when the kids grow up. The way they'll be taking their, they'll be like, my mother didn't do this to me, my father didn't do this to me. God help us. I tell you, Allah.
Yes,
God
sir.
bless you, sir.
Thank you, sir. Thank you so much for calling in, sir. You're welcome anytime.
Thank you, Uncle Patrick. Thank you so much.
God bless you, Mbasi. I appreciate you. Continue doing what you are doing.
Thank you.
I want to meet you in person. I'm learning a lot from you.
No, Uncle Patrick, we are learning from you, sir.
Yeah, it's going to happen. It's going to happen. We're all gonna meet.
I really appreciate you. You need to document all those wisdom. Like, wow, what is this lady saying?
Thank you so much.
The right words. Like, this doesn't just come. Yes, and you are using it very well. So we need you. God bless you, ma.
Thank you so much, sir. All right, sir. Yes, sir. So Mbasi, did you get that response? You want me to read it again?
I got the response. So what the person was saying is exactly what happened. However, though, the document that part of the document that she was talking about, allegedly, we don't know how authentic those documents as far as for her that they has to show the password and the lover that she has and all that. But he's a person that will want to know all of that anyway. You know what I mean? Like he's that cuckoo. Like he's so busy with Melody of. Let me tell you this: if Melody changed her mind tomorrow, and somehow in the universe, Melody turn around and kind of just seduce Martel to say, "Let's get back," he will not blink twice. I can always guarantee you that.
That's if he doesn't change his ways properly before that kind of thing happens, he will go back to himself. You know, you got to make sure that person is actually changed to take on that kind of risk. You know,
so he's losing it in a way because he doesn't have the same control that he had before when they were in the marriage. So I remember one of the clips where the rest of the guys was telling him, like, you know, work on your marriage, you know, you don't want to destroy what you already built, what. You know what this Mongo Park said in that scene? He said, well, I mean, maybe we just need to go on our separate way and divorce, maybe in 3, 4, 5 years, then we'll get back together. I mean, who think like that?
Yeah, it's assumed that she's always going to be there at that point.
Yeah, because he said he knows that no man would treat Melody the way he treats Melody. I was like, well, you're right, because the way you treated that girl is no, she should not even allow anybody to treat her that way anymore. Anyway.
Yeah, they said the Mistress is having a nervous breakdown on the internet. I think I'll see if I can find that and review that.
The Mistress is another case. It's another case entirely. I mean, like she's Judy, okay? She's or maybe worse than Judy. I don't even know which one is worse between two of them. She is doing the most. She herself subjected herself into Martel's situation and wrap up in herself in there now. He doesn't know how to move forward or backward. She's as confused as Martel is confused. But they fit each other in that aspect. I think they both need some form of mental clarification with a professional person anyway. But yeah, may we not entangle ourselves with anyone like the Mistress or the Martel, for real. Yeah.
That's crazy. That is crazy. But anyway, what do you think the major lessons are from this, for what we just reviewed tonight, and some of these revelations that just came to the Prestige family about this family? What do you think the major lessons are? Give us some lesson for the man and for the woman, because it could be, ladies, it could be your son in this situation and he's fighting for his family. He love his ex-wife, but he's moving mad wrongly. You know, what would be your advice?
So first of all, I would like to say that we need to normalize. I don't know if I pronounced the word right. You know, normalize the fact that when you walk away from a relationship, walk away. There's no reason why you want to go back and forth. Unless there is another motive behind that, because when you go back and forth, people get hurt from that. Don't use your marriage as a pawn. Like, well, if I can't have it now, maybe I will have it later. You can't do your marriage like that. So it's either you're gonna work on that marriage or let go of it. Because in my situation, when I was in it, I was blaming. Like, you know, he's doing this to me, but then I forget that, well, who is allowing all this? Me. I'm the one allowing all this. So, and then once you hit your rock bottom and you are able to pull yourself up and you say, that's it for me, bye-bye, let it be bye-bye. Because there's a reason, there's something that put you in that rock bottom. And know what the reasons are, and it's a place that you never want to find yourself again. I mean, not with him, not with the same person, or with anybody.
With the same person. Right.
As far as the men are concerned, it's like men are the leader of the house, and a lot of men are leading physically, but they don't have the emotional capacity to lead.
Yes.
Let me tell you, you will be so surprised. When these men open their mouth, and please forgive me for saying this, and they started to talk, you can actually pick up on them. Like, they are not even in any way mentally, emotionally equipped to be the husband of anybody. Really. If we are talking about a man is leading a woman in the union, and then you have children that you have to be example for, right? So for men to please, find yourself in the internal level, internally. Find yourself, know what you want, know how to walk away if you need to walk away. Don't stick around for situations that it's not favoring you, you are not favoring it. Why are you sticking around? Why are you making it more difficult?
Yeah.
Walk away. Same thing with women too, please. Find yourself, know what you are doing, pay attention, work on yourself. I said to people, just the way you pay your phone bill, your light bill, whatever bill, pay your therapy bill like that too. Put yourself on a monthly subscription of coaching or therapy, something that you can self-check yourself to say, how far am I in my emotional state of things, right? I'm so grateful for where I am today, because, and the more you heal, the more scary things become, because you can clearly see now, like, oh, this is this or this is that. But at the same time, you'll be able to identify what is healthy and what is not. It's as simple as you will be, and then it's not a one-time fix it all. It's continuous things. It's something that we have to do. I feel that man or woman, we have to go on this healing journey without anybody asking you or anybody telling you to do so. Within yourself, you find that, and then you make that commitment to yourself that you're gonna do that for the rest of your life. If that's what it takes for you to remain in that healthy state of mind, and for you to be able to give back to your child, if you have, or to your children, a healthy form of living. Because they need to see you that you are actually doing it.
Because you're leading by example. You're teaching by example. You're leading by example. Whether you realize it or not. Yeah. Thank you so much, Mbasi. You're welcome here anytime.
Thank you.
I appreciate you. Yep. All right. Yes, we're rounding up. You too. Enjoy the rest of your weekend. Okay.
Thank you so much.
All right. So let's talk about this. I got a couple of things I wanted to share with regards to this. Thank you so much, Mbasi and Brother Patrick, for elevating the conversation. I appreciate you. Let me first of all talk about a melody, right? If you happen to be a melody, and you're dealing with this kind of situation, a situation where somebody is suing you to court at the same time pretending, what's the word? Or basically expecting you to be normal, right? Like, you just sued me to court yesterday. Like, what do you mean, right? If you're dealing with this kind of difficult situation, I want you to be aware that you will need a strong support system. Because this kind of thing can make you completely misbehave. Okay? Misbehave even to the extent of hurting your own children, even when it's not your fault, right? Very important to make sure that you have a good support system around you, in the form of wise counsel, in the form of whatever. It could be good friends that know what they're talking about, not people that are going to intoxicate your mind even more against the father of your children. That's not the goal. The goal is that you're good, okay? That you have a healthy environment around you, and you don't overreact from having to co-parent with a funny situation, right? You need support systems so that even sometimes when you want to overdo or overextend beyond yourself, they say, no, calm down. They will be the one to tell you, no, let him worry about this one. Sometimes they will tell you like, no, it's okay. You can let him come, right? It could be that, but you need some healthy support system around you, because this has to be difficult. Okay. That's what I would say to her, Melody. It's making sense the more I cover the story, the more it's making sense to me why she's, kind of like protective of herself, still confused, not sure how she feels, because this used to be her best friend. So it's not easy to just cut loose. It can be, even if she's had to do that, it's not the easiest thing to do for her, right? And this is the father of her 4 children that she loves, right? So it can be easy like that. So that's even the more so reason why she will need that support system. Okay, very, very important. I don't think I don't think there's a chance there again. But never say never, right? But if there's any chance there at all, she needs to make sure that it's a situation that's and I know some of you ladies don't like to hear that people can have chances again and redemption. Yeah, that's a real thing. It does exist and it can happen, and oftentimes from a very, very dark place. Like they're coming from a dark place, and you will say like, never do it. I get you, I understand you, but the story of humanity will not be complete without some solid redemption stories out there. Okay, so you could be on the receiving end of it. You could be the one that need forgiveness, or you need that kind of redemption. It might not be a romantic situation. It could just be something else entirely in life, but you crave for that kind of redemption. So never say never, right? Because you never know. And particularly with people that have gone through the darkest of alleys, right? That's what I'm talking about. You're like, no, but this situation, you should never say never. It's actually worse and much more dangerous to have that closed mindset. It's actually much more dangerous. That doesn't mean you should put yourself in harm's way, because that's not what I'm ever advocating for. So with that being said, she needs to make sure that with the support system, that she needs to vet properly, not just this guy, anyone in general, like including any new romantic love she's taking on or anything like that. She needs to make sure that she's vetting, because she will have cloud over her eyes. She will be judging everyone with her experience with Martel. That's something she has to be careful about, right? And it's not something that is very tricky, You see what you see. You see red flag, you see red flag. It is what it is, based off of your experience. But red flag is red flag, right? You can't unknow what you already know. So it's a very tricky situation. It's going to take a good support system, okay? And it's going to take, some real rough situation, So, but anyway, yeah, that's what I think. Now, in terms of Martel, she probably already, any Martels out there, she know how I feel about this already. You want your girl back? Back off, man. You already have more than enough opportunities to showcase a better person. Put all that energy into yourself. Let her reach out. You should never be reaching out unless it's an emergency or you're delivering the babies or anything like that. Showcase your best self. Don't let go. Those are your best. That creates your best chances. Okay? Let go. Okay? That will create your best chances. All right? Let me see here. Life with Natu says, MOP, what is your take on Davido on Sophia? If you all want, we'll talk about Davido and Sophia on Sunday. If you want, we'll talk about Davido and Sophia on Sunday. But I already have something planned. I might change it. You never know. But I meant to talk about it. It's on my list. And shout out to Charmaine. Charmaine, you made it tonight. I just read your comment. I didn't say your name though. I said CH. Shout out to you, Charmaine. She said, Arion's mistress is rumored to be pregnant again. Why wouldn't he want to deal with... Why would she want to deal with that? Yeah, I think it's a wrap. If there wasn't like all this extra stuff with Arion, maybe there's a chance. But again, you never know. You just never know. I just always keep an open mind regardless. That's just who I am. But some people, they won't stop unless they completely self-destruct. That sounds like Martel to me. So he's moving mad. He's confused. He wants her back, but not really. But you can tell me what to do. All that type of attitude right there is like you deserve all the results you create with that, But yeah, shout out to you, Charmaine. But yes, if there's anybody out there and you want to put your situation back together, it's bad already. The damages are plenty. Like in this situation right now, the damages are a lot, right? And just multiply this story by the number of monitoring spirits on the internet, on social media. Like how many people are paying attention to every little move that Martel or Melody is making, like multiply that. That's just too much for any human being to want to carry. Yeah, before they should get back into any kind of stupid stuff together, if that chances they need them, yeah, that's gonna be difficult because he's the kind of guy that will remind you that you gave another dude fellatio. Right? It's that guy, right? And can you deal with that for the rest of your life? I'm guessing no. You don't have to be dealing with that, right? Like, you let me remind you of that time you told me you messed with that other dude. What about this other good old like? Yeah, I wouldn't do it. Like, if a person is not able to, even a woman, we know that women would talk about things from the past. They always bring it up to the surface. If she's not willing to let go and never bring it up to the surface, if it's not a clean slate, it's a bad idea to get back into it. If it's not a clean slate, which is almost impossible, right? It's a bad idea to get back into a situation with an ex. Once you let go, you keep it moving and let it go. Let it go. If you guys are meant to be back together, there will be a decent length of time of friendship that is just a natural next move to do. Everybody, even before you call it a title, everybody will like, you guys might as well just do it, right? Like, no one else is going to come in. It happens. No one else is going to come into your lives. You guys love each other. Clearly it's changed. I mean, you guys have been doing this and we know you're sleeping together. You've been doing it for 5 years. Just go ahead and do it again and make it official. Yeah, that level, right? Which it does happen, right? But this idea, like, let's just get back together because we have 4 kids. I think that would be a terrible idea altogether. Charmaine says Martel has never protected Melody. There would have been a chance when in the beginning Martel told Ariane to stop the insults. Martel has never put Melody first. Sounds like a guy that always put himself first, including when he wants Melody back. It's literally him putting himself first, literally. I'm a day one. I watched every live the Mistress done and the cast done. If you don't watch the social media along with the show, you're not getting the whole story. Thank you for sharing your comments. That was very helpful. Thank you so much for sharing your comments. So basically, for the next show, we're going to talk about this. Let me show you. So tomorrow or Sunday, okay? That's what I have planned. But I will see. Maybe we can do 2 of the shows together because I know Natu wants to see something else. This right here is what I have planned for tomorrow. This right here. Brian McKnight and his estranged kids. Listen, man. People are going through a lot out there. Grown kids, but then he has a whole new family. Named his brand new baby the name of his older son and say, hey, I have nothing to do with those people anymore. I don't know these guys. I'm not putting words in his mouth, but that's what it sounds like to me, But yes, tomorrow we're going to try to cover that tomorrow or Sunday. Either tomorrow late night 10 p.m. or Sunday 5 p.m. Okay, one of those 2. Just because, we're definitely gonna cover. Okay, so let's do it. We're gonna cover 2 stories on that day. We're gonna cover the Davido and the Sophia story, and then we're going to cover this Brian McKnight story. Because I'm sure there's gonna be tons of lessons in all of them. Okay. Yeah, most likely I'm gonna rest tomorrow. Sunday evening 5 p.m. Yes, Sunday evening 5 p.m. Let's do it like that, right? Melody has forgiven Martel many times and tried to the point he got another cell phone just to secretly talk to Ariane, and Ariane bragged. Yeah, I remember those. We were day ones too, by the way. My wife and I were day one of the show. But when I watch this reality TV show, I'm like, she blames me for that all the time. I'm half in, half out, because that's why I watch it. It's just, I'm using it to relax. I don't want to overthink. Sometimes I'll be on my phone. Sometimes I just relax. I'm doing other things and I'm watching it, right? I don't watch it like I would watch Power, that I want to hear everything, right? So that could be. But I followed the story from day one. We were day one fans. We are day one fans of the show. But no, I don't follow them to their social media pages. I don't do that. I've stumbled to maybe a few videos here and there, but not really. So, but I know she tried. She even became. They tried it on their first. Was it the first or second reunion? They tried to do the Bonnie and Clyde thing. We mentioned that earlier, and that she ended up on the receiving end of that bad idea, because I could see through them at that time as well when she was pregnant with the last baby, right? So when she walked away, there would not be the if I should have or would have. So it's done, and he sued her for child support that was denied. Yeah, and there's a recent lawsuit about the child custody thing too. Yeah, it looks bad. But yes, that's all I have for you today. Shout out to everybody that came by this late night shift. I just did exactly 2 hours and 4 seconds. I wanted to be on time. That's why I didn't add any other story to it. But thank you so much. I appreciate you. Shout out to everyone in the chat. Hopefully you've been enlightened and educated. I'll see you on the next one. Peace.
Your love that I've been missing. I miss all your hugs, your touching and kissing. Make love on the floor, the couch in the kitchen. One love enough, we done enough.